dark. It's going on about 9:30. So just came down here later because it's hot. And then I'm starting to do the new series. It's New York City, still the city that never sleeps. So we're going to check that out to see if that's actually true. I'm going to walk around. I wanted to come out later, start later, like 10, 11 o'clock. But I figured I could just hang out here in Times Square for a little while before I start to walk around Midtown Manhattan and then Lower Manhattan. Because that's where you see all the parties and clubs would be. You do got clubs uptown, like Harlem, the Bronx, and places like that. But I'm not too familiar with those areas and where the clubs would be at. So I wouldn't know where to actually go to the club to see if they still hanging out at night. But this is going to be that new series. Is New York City still the city that never sleeps? Like I say, right now in Times Square, there's still a lot of people out, but I believe most of these people are tourists or people that just actually work here in Times Square. It's mainly tourists and then the people that work here. I don't think it's a lot of the people from New York that's hanging out here. As you can see, it's a lot of tourists going, and then most of these spots here are geared toward tourists. They're geared toward tourists. A lot of it. A lot of these spots are like straight up geared toward tourists, as you can see. Because people from New York, they generally don't come here unless they got business down here. They generally don't come to Times Square unless they got business or they're coming down here to see a Broadway show. Yeah. Yeah, most people from New York, like I say, don't come to Times Square to hang out. They come down here to come see a show, or they work down here. Outside of that, they avoid the place. You know what I mean? They always ask me why I come down here. So I'm just like, what's up, Dr. Najjar? So yeah, like I said, I wanted to walk around and see if New York City is still the city that still does never sleep. So, but I'm gonna wait till it get a little later because it's only like 9:32. And like I said, I would go uptown, but I don't really know any of the areas up there where they used to hang out. I do know the spots here in Midtown Manhattan where they used to hang out a lot, where people would go to party prior to COVID. And like since COVID, a lot of things shut down. A lot of the places don't be open or staying, where you see large crowds. I don't see that much anymore. And then like Times Square, you see the large crowds because it's Times Square and this is where all the tourists are visiting. I'll let y'all take a few, see the crowd. Yeah, they still got pretty large crowds that's coming down here. So, like I said, right now, I wanted to get a little bit later before I start walking. So, Good morning, Sachin. Drinking some coffee. Yeah, I want to plan, like I said, I want to walk around all of, because Midtown Manhattan, when I first moved to New York back in 2016, that's where a lot of the clubs, and you see people just hanging out, just a lot of places that was open. Oh, India. It's morning time in India. Okay. Where from in India? Where are you from, Sachin? I'm from, I live in New York City, but I'm from Mississippi. What's up, Gambia? Lyman from Gambia. Yeah, it's been hot. It was up about 99 degrees today. It was about 99 degrees. It's probably about 90, 80, 85 to 90 right now. What's up, Chevro? Yeah, a lot of people came out late because it's been hot most of the day. It's been very, very hot. Sachin Lyman is asking you how was India. Chevro, I'm in New York City. Midtown Manhattan, Times Square. Yeah, I'm just hanging out here. Let y'all see all the folks walking through here. Hey, my name is Terrence. My name is Terrence. Yeah, been living in New York since 2016, going on 10 years now. I've been in New York. Pretty cool out here. It's getting much cooler. It was very, very hot. Like I said, yesterday it got up to like about 101, 102. Today it's got up to about 99, 99 degrees. Yeah, still a lot of people out, man. Still a lot of people hanging out. Hey, how you doing? I can't understand that writing. I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know what that writing is. It just came on. It's in I don't know that language. Yeah, so like I said, I'm probably in another 10 or 15 minutes, I'm gonna start walking around Midtown Manhattan. This pretty later right now, and we're gonna see if New York City is still the city that never sleeps, or if everybody's going in. But I wanted to come out here like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning to see. The tourist place is very nice in India. What's the name of it? So I can look it up. Sacha just made a friend. Lyman and Sacha just made a friend. That's cool. What's up, El Croco? There's people that bring their dogs out here too. We got a lot of stuff happening currently in the United States, in New York City. Just had the mayoral election, primary election yesterday. A lot of primary elections yesterday for New York. Yeah, I told you, people bring their whole families out here. Yeah.
Pedras, ¿ya tomó foto o video? ¿Tu teléfono?
Yeah, so Times Square is a must visit for a lot of people coming here. They always have to come check it out just to see what all the hype is about. So I'm finna start walking around a little bit more so y'all can get a better glimpse of Times Square after dark.
I see you for a minute, so I didn't know what you were. But I know you. Stop.
Yeah, this probably stay like this out here for another 4 to 5 hours or 4 to 6 hours. You're gonna have people out here just walking around, taking pictures, hanging out with their families, because you notice there's a lot of families out here. A lot of families. And people just hanging out, because it's also graduation season. People graduating from college, graduating from high school. So you just have a lot of that.
This side, business.
Yeah. So you got all type of people out trying to make money out here. You got all the stuffed animals or the characters. I don't know what you call those. I didn't. So you got a mixture of everything. Tourists, people coming to the theater, and then people that work here. too hot to be sitting in these costumes. Hey, good morning. Singapore. So what I'm doing is walking around Times Square. The goal is to hang out long enough that I can walk around Midtown Manhattan like after 11 to see if a lot of these places are still, is New York City still a city that never sleeps? Are these clubs open? Are people still hanging out? Or is everything closing down early?
I saw it. Yes.
The politics of the early students.
It feels good when I walk past one of them stores and AC blows out. There's a lot of different stores that's still open. But that's all you're doing in Times Square, taking pictures and shopping and eating. A lot of restaurants, a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants. That's a lot of what you have down here in Times Square. Hey, twin shop boy. Construction still happening. New York City, Times Square, twins. That's generally what goes on down here. A lot of pictures, a lot of people hanging out with their families. You know, that's Times Square, man. You got the street performers. You got the guys dressed up in costumes, the Spider-Mans, robots, all the different characters. Yeah, it's nice, man. Great place to visit. That's a job right there. Right now I'm headed down to, I'm going down to 42nd Street and Broadway. Then walk up 42nd Street to see everything that's like on 42nd Street. That's a cool place to hang out too. That's where you got all the movie theaters. Then you got more restaurants. So you'll be able to check that stuff out.
Here's the hard one.
So we over here on 42nd Street right now. Hey, what's up, Hazard Shaw? Yeah, I'm about to walk down 42nd Street toward 8th Avenue. Do you know before Disney started investing in this area, it used to be the area that had all the strip clubs and porn, peep shows, porn shops. And they made a TV show about it called The Deuce. And all that was here on 42nd Street with all this stuff that you see here now. No, I don't have any kids, man. No children, no. So you do have like stores and shops, street vendors. Yeah, like I said, it's graduation season. Congratulations. Yeah, you have The Lion King, one of the longest running Broadway shows. You got Aladdin. This is another long running Broadway show. Across the street, you got Harry Potter. So you have a lot of different Broadway shows that happen here on 42nd Street. And then you have movie theaters. A lot of street vendors, a lot of artists. Yeah, man. Yeah, so like I say, I'm just out here walking right now. that's out here walking and built up a sweat.
Just see how long it is.
Famous Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. You got some of everything out here, man. Restaurants, movie theaters. You got Target. What's up, Ford F-150, Pat Brewer. What I do for a living. Pat Brewer, this is New York City, Times Square, Midtown Manhattan. I'm a filmmaker, twins. That's what I do for a living. What I do for fun is make YouTube videos. And travel internationally. Not having kids helped me to do that. Yeah. So yeah, you got all the street vendors. Yeah. World's largest candy department. That's if you like candy, you can get it there. Well, it's I don't know, everybody sees New York differently as far as like depending on what movie they saw or what documentary they're looking at or what YouTube video and what they're viewing. Right now we're here on 8th Avenue.
We're to the right.
That's Port Authority bus terminal across the street. That's Port Authority bus terminal. If we head south, we will get to the train station, which is south of here. Can I help you? How can I help you? Depends on what it is. Twin shop, then I may be able to help you if you let me know what it is. And then I'll tell you if I can't, depending on what it is. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so what is it, Twin Shop Boy? What you need help with? Where in Cali? Pat Brewer. I visited San Francisco, Sacramento, LA, Long Beach. I think LA is the county, right? Pat Brewer. I think LA is like the county. Yeah, so been to the Bay Area, Compton, far as LA, Compton, and Long Beach. I was in the military, and then the people who I was in the military went with, I went back to them to California. Yeah, I never heard of that. Is that like near LA, or is that Northern California. So right now we're walking down 8th Avenue. And like I said, since Disney put a lot of money into this area, a lot of the sex shops, strip clubs, peep shows, all that stuff has moved out. And then when I moved here, they said the Porn King had owned this building that was like in 42nd Street, where the McDonald's is right now. You know, he had all this stuff sold up with his pornography stuff. And he
It's insane that you could
he ended up passing away, and his family sold a lot of the stuff for like hundreds of millions of dollars. Because this is the property here, property values, the real estate in New York City is pretty crazy as far as price-wise. I mean, for a studio apartment here in New York City, they be asking for like $1 million, man, depending on what neighborhood it's in. The asking price is for $1 million for the studio apartment. Plus, you will have to pay like homeowners association fee, which can be like $5,000. And this is for a studio apartment now. Oh, this is just the summer. But the people, as far as the people being out here, yes, it's like this. And then for the summer, you get more people coming out here. You know, more people. And then it's like graduation. So you have a whole bunch of schools, high schools that bring their students here. And then you have college graduations where people with their families come out here to celebrate with their, you know, kid that just graduated from college, you know. But you do have a mix of people that's here. Yes. And it also depends on where you go. It also depends on where you go, because you can go to some places and you'll get reasonable prices, like in the outer boroughs, like far as like Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, and Queens. Some of the places you'll get some reasonable prices. But you actually have to know where to look, which I know how to do that now. I know what stores to go to. Some of these places, they're so expensive, man, and the food be terrible. You can go out here and spend like $100 on a meal, and the meal is terrible. You know, so, and it can get rave reviews on Yelp. Everybody's saying it's amazing, but it's just like the new trendy thing that everybody's doing, and the food be disgusting. You know what I mean? So I stopped listening and paying attention to like Yelp and all those review spots. Well, a lot of people, you know, they have roommates. And then most of the people here are from New York. So they got like those rent-controlled apartments and rent stabilizations, because they've been living in these apartments since the 70s. And their friends are the ones who like own the restaurants, own the stores, the bodegas. So they getting like they getting friend prices when everybody else is getting tourist prices. You know, like I got my own apartment, and you know, but I got it before the particular area I was living in started to gentrify. since it started to gentrify where I live at, since the neighborhood I lived in started to gentrify, the prices of that neighborhood started to go up. You know? Yeah, it started to, prices started to go up. And you see that a lot, like in the neighborhoods. You'll go to a store, and once it starts to gentrify, yeah, this is 8th Avenue. This is called Restaurant Row right here. This is where all the major restaurants people go to after they leave the theater, which is happening right now, but this is a list of some of the restaurants that's here. You know? Yeah, so it's a lot going on in New York. They just had the primary elections for the mayor's office to select the Democrat mayoral candidate and a Republican mayoral candidate. So they had that yesterday. And there's always a lot of stuff happening here in New York City, man. Like I said, this strip we on right now, this was notorious. Everybody I've met here have told me that 8th Avenue in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, early 90s, was like, you know, nothing compared to what it looks like right now. This is, you know, you got everything. They said you had everything, man. There was prostitution happening. You can buy drugs on the streets. You had the strip clubs, the peep shows, the sex shops, the hourly motels. You had all that stuff going on down here. And that's what this area was. And then around the mid to late 90s, Disney started to invest here. I think they got the theater where they perform The Lion King. They turned The Lion King into a musical, and they invested in that theater. Oh, you're welcome, Pat Brewer. Thank you. They invested in that theater, and then they started to invest in the area. And then you got to remember, this was the time that Mayor Rudolph Giuliani was doing he became mayor. And it was also during the time President Clinton was in office, and he had came out with the crime bill. And then Mayor Rudolph Giuliani did, he toughened the law, so that cleaned up a lot of the prostitution and the drug dealing that was going on here, and they made it more safe for tourists. They made it more safe for tourists to come and hang out here in Midtown Manhattan. And most of Midtown Manhattan, specifically around Times Square, is geared toward tourists. As you can see, all the hop on and off buses, they generally line up here on 8th Avenue. A lot of the buses, a lot of the tourist buses, because you don't have as much traffic as you have on 7th Avenue, Broadway, 6th Avenue, and 5th Avenue. You have a lot of just regular traffic on those streets. Yeah. I came to my first time visiting New York was, I believe, 2000, man. I came, and my brother was living in the Bronx. You usually see that if it's like a major festival going on. If it's a major festival going on, um, or like when they do the New Year's Eve ball drop in Times Square, you will see that, but you will also see the horse-hung cops in Central Park, because in Central Park they still got the horse and buggies that ride around with the horse and buggies. You don't see it as much here. When I first moved here, you seen it a lot, but now you don't see it as much. You don't see it as much here in Times Square. So right now we are on, I think this is like 47th Street. Yeah, like it's very, very safe here in Midtown Manhattan where these theaters are. It's very safe. You're not gonna run into any trouble here.
It's like a.
Yeah, you see all the people getting out of the theater. A lot of the shows are over. People standing outside waiting to get autographs, which is something they do. Yeah. So right now I'm walking back toward Times Square. And that's toward 7th Avenue, just leaving 8th Avenue, headed toward 7th Avenue. Hey, what's up, Lady G?
For like, I also doze up for like 15 seconds.
It smells like Aggie 647 in Texas. It smells like a lot of those food carts, so it's a mix. You got the sewage, you got the garbage trucks, you smell that, but you mainly smell those food trucks cooking hot dogs, shawarmas, gyros, hamburgers, cooking all that stuff. You smell that. Like I say, garbage, sewage, you smell a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? You smell a lot of that. So it's like a mix. And then people. You smell people. Some people don't shower. You have homeless people out here. You smell them, and then some people who are not homeless, they just not, I don't know what it is. It seems like they're just not using deodorant or whatever.
That's actually Broadway show? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, New York. It is, man. I moved here from from Jackson, Mississippi. I moved to New York from Jackson, Mississippi, and I have been. It's like a whole different world, just how people operate and how they do things. It's just different. They just different out here, man. But once you get to know people, you'll see it's pretty much the same. Same type of characters. They just in a new, you know. Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's one perspective, man. You know, like I always have that belief that if God is for you, who can be against you? Belief, and I still have that belief. So it doesn't matter where I go. I know God is with me, so it doesn't matter what the world looks like to, or what it is to other people. I know I'm taken care of, man. You know, Aggie. Yeah, I hear you. When you grow up in a little smaller town, then you'll get used to. Then you're kind of used to being in that environment. Right now, I'm walking toward 6th Avenue, toward the Diamond District. So now I'm walking toward the Diamond District on 6th Avenue. I'm on 47th Street, still in Midtown Manhattan. You know, still theaters. You know, they still got Broadway shows. So in Times Square, it's a mixture. You have the Broadway theaters, you have like a lot of the tourist attractions, a lot of stores, restaurants. You have all of that. And Times Square is generally from like 42nd Street between like Broadway and 8th Avenue, all the way down to maybe 50th or 52nd Street. That'd be considered Times Square. Yeah. So like right now, I'm walking toward 6th Avenue, the Diamond District. This is where, you know, a lot of the musicians, entertainers, actors, sports figures come get their jewelry. No, it's 1023. It's 1023. Yeah, I plan on being out here late. You know, I plan on being out here late. You know, just walking around, seeing what I can see. Some of them do, mainly the ones that sell food, like a lot of the restaurants. But a lot of the stores, they shut down. A lot of the stores shut down around 8 or 9 o'clock. Before COVID, they stayed open late. But since COVID, a lot of shops closed early. So you see these food carts everywhere. So right now we're in a diamond district. We're on 6th Avenue, also known as the Avenue of America. So down these streets you have all like the jewelry shops. You have a lot of that.
It's not safe though.
You know. Yeah, it did. A lot of famous businesses went out. I don't know what language that is, Lady G. So I can't interpret what you're saying right now. So here's Fox News. This is where they record all the Fox News shows. That's what this is. Over here, that's what this building is. They record all the Fox News shows over here. You're correct. You're correct, Aggie. I agree with you. And so does the city of New York. Do you know they call it congestion pricing here in New York, some parts of New York? To drive your car in Manhattan, you have to pay a fee. And it's to discourage people from driving cars and to get them to start to take public transportation. Because they got, to me, it's the best public transportation system I've ever experienced, you know. And that's just my opinion. True, I'm sure you can. Yeah, they do take up a lot of resources. A lot of resources. So right now I'm gonna walk down to Rockefeller Center, and this is where they film the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Saturday Night Live, and a couple other TV shows. So we're gonna walk over there and check that out. I mean, like the GDP of New York City is greater than that of many independent nations, you know, and the like they gotta pay a fee, like all the semis, the big tractor trailers that come into the city, they have to pay a fee. You know, like I said, the GP, the gross domestic product of just New York City, and then if I'm not even adding in the metropolitan New York area. I'm just talking about New York City, the 5 boroughs. It has a GDP greater than that of many nations in the world. And you can look that up online and you'll see it for yourself, you know. That's Radio City Music Hall down there. So this NBC Studios, we coming up on NBC Studios. Like I say, this is where they filmed the Tonight Show, Saturday Night Live, and a lot of famous NBC shows are filmed here. A lot of the specials that they do are done here. Yeah. Late Night with Seth Meyers, the Kelly Clarkson Show. You have a lot of those shows that are filmed here. And then you have like the famous Radio City Music Hall, home of the Rockettes. Right now we're like on 50th Street. Yeah, Pat Brewer, NBC. NBC. And then that's the famous Rainbow Room. And this is where you come and do the Top of the Rock tour, which would take you to the top of Rockefeller Center. It's called Top of the Rock. Yeah, it's a lot of natural resources are being depleted. Like I said, they got a lot of shops and it's not open. You'll see lines forming at these shops during the day. Like I said, before COVID, a lot of these places were still open. But since COVID, you don't see a lot of them open. But it's slowly getting back to that. Right now, I'm about to head back toward Times Square. Like I said, we are on 50th Street and 6th Avenue. And I'm walking back toward 7th Avenue and Times Square. You'll see a lot of these little public spaces where you can just come, chill, and relax, which a lot of people do. Feel a good, nice breeze coming from the water. And that's one of the things in New York, you have a lot of public spaces. It depends. Sometimes I go out every day and film. And it depends on what my schedule is, Pat. But I do film regularly, but I don't have a set schedule. I used to have a set schedule, but now I'm working on a documentary. So I'm doing research for that and preparing to film the documentary. So I'm not out as much. I'm preparing everything for that. And I hope that answered your question, Pat Brewer. But I do come out and film a lot. I just don't have a set schedule. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm walking back toward Times Square. I'm on 50th Avenue, and I'm walking back toward 7th Avenue. And then on this street too, you will see a lot of cars where they're more like Uber or drivers, where they rent a car from a luxury service, and they get, they go to the theater. So instead of catching a train, people will rent luxury cars like big black SUVs or executive Ubers, I think they're called. I may be wrong about the name of that Uber or luxury Uber. And they use those to come out to Broadway to see a show and have a dinner, take their wife or their spouse or their husband out on the town. So you see a lot of that here as well too. And on streets like this where it's not cluttered with traffic, you see it's not a lot of traffic on this street. So people can actually park and sit and wait until they're called to come back to pick up their fares. And like most of the places that's open, it's on the main strip. A lot of the places that's open, that's on this main strip here on 7th Avenue or on Broadway. A lot of the places are just closed. Those souvenir shops like that, they stay open late. Dunkin' Donuts, little delis, little bodegas, they stay open late. But you see, this place closes at 8. This place closes at 7. Yeah, a lot of places don't stay open late. Like I said, they used to, but not anymore. It's more or less restaurants staying open late. Like clothing stores, gift shops, a lot of those places are not staying open late. Even Starbucks is closed. I think they got one that's in the heart of Times Square that stays open late, but most places shut down early. They are not staying open. It used to be like more than one strip club on this street. There was a whole bunch of them. I think this is the only one that's left.
We outside.
Hello, back in
I think that's like the only one that's left around this area that's out where people can see it. Most of the other spots, you don't even, yeah. And then you see that too, stores opening and closing. opening and closing, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, as you notice, it'll be more traffic around Times Square than it is in those areas where we were just at.
Appreciate you on the speakers. They love me so good. Fuck me so good. When the song lasting up on the speakers. Yeah,
So now we back like in the heart of Times Square. So you can actually see this is where most of the foot traffic is.
How about you guys? Good.
This is where most of the foot traffic is.
Night to guys. Night to.
It's not that much like going outside of here. Like you see when we walk to 7th Avenue, 8th Avenue, the 8th Avenue and 6th Avenue, we didn't see as many people as we see right here. So we seen those people because they were coming from this area, going back to their hotels or going home from being at the theater. This area is pretty safe. They had to go to get the police to somebody. Yeah.
Está la torre de Chanel.
That's where I started it earlier. Yeah, I'm on 46th Street right now. A lot of hotels on this street. And then you got some historical churches on this street too. Yeah. Yeah, most of the people you seeing are tourists, man. There are some people that's from New York that are here, but they generally work here. They either work at the hotel or they work at one of these restaurants. Look here, this restaurant closed. It's like, I think it closed early too. You know, a lot of these restaurants close because it's like, you know, nobody's coming in. So, like I said, a lot of historical churches been built here. This is St. Mary's, and they also have like apartments built around them as well. Yeah, but a lot of these
To me, the best number of the show was.
like I say, churches, hotels, it's like mixed. Churches, hotels, restaurants. You got a mix. That's what mainly here on 46th Street, going toward 6th Avenue, Avenue of Americas. Thank you, Pat Brewer, and I appreciate you hanging out and walking with me.
I've been doing little odds.
As you can see, it gets quieter the further away we get from Times Square. You don't see the foot traffic. You don't see the traffic, car traffic. It's not as much. Here you will see people walking, mainly people getting out of work, or young people.
O cara paga $3.000 de aluguel. Em Manhattan, lá.
You see a lot of young people. I'm always amazed at the number of cars I see because it has such a well-developed transit system. You set up drums in the streets. We still don't see the volume of traffic of people and cars that we saw in and around Times Square. During the day, that's the Empire State Building in the distance. Like I was saying, during the day, this area is crowded. During the day, you'll see a lot of it because people work in all these office buildings. What's up, man? That guy comes out here regularly to sell his merchandise. Here. Coming up on 42nd Street and 6th Avenue. All the way down there in the distance, you can see One World Trade Center, but it's all the way down there. Let me see if I can I'm gonna bring it into view so you can see it. That blinking light down there is One World Trade Center, all the way in Lower Manhattan. I'll never make it because Empire State Building, and that's down there at 34th Street and 5th Avenue. So now we're back on 42nd Street, 6th Avenue. So I'm on 42nd Street walking toward Broadway. Yeah, more people are gathered like at the heart of Times Square, not on the fringes, you know. And most of the stores are closed. Even some of the tourist attractions are closed. It's 10:56, 10:56, and the only thing that's really open is restaurants, and a lot of them are closing now. And the only restaurants are like fast food restaurants. And then like the prices for food is so high, it's ridiculous. And then the food is not even that good. Even at the food trucks, they try to charge you crazy prices. So I'm on Broadway and 42nd. And I'm walking toward 34th Street. See, it's kind of like empty. It's 10:59. Joe's Pizza always have a crowd over there. We're gonna see a crowd. That's Joe's Pizza, one of the more famous pizza shops in New York. It's Joe's Pizza over there. I like their pizza. It's pretty good. So if you come here, they got Joe's Pizza here on Broadway and like 40th Street. You can see the line for the pizza, and it's always a line. You can see the line for the pizza. Joe's Pizza is good. Like I say, this is Broadway and 40th. They have one. They have one at 3rd Avenue and 14th Street. And then one in West Village. It's around West 4th Street. You can find it there too. And the pizza is good, so people are not standing in line for no reason. It's some good pizza. And then it's hot out here too, so they standing in line for some good pizza. So if you ever visit here, check out Joe's Pizza. Get you a slice. And then also, I know whenever people visiting, the need to have a bathroom, to use the bathroom is major. But you always got police everywhere too, so you're pretty safe if you like nervous about being out after dark. There's police like everywhere. There's police everywhere. So in Midtown Manhattan, you're pretty safe. Like I say, it's police everywhere. Yeah, now I'm walking toward 34th Street. And as you can see, it's the further away we get from Times Square, the darker it gets and the less people we see. Like I said, we see a lot of young people getting high, doing that kind of stuff, hanging out. And then a lot of them is like, what do you call that? Food delivery guys, like those orange bites. A lot of food delivery guys rent those, and that's what you see a lot of, you know, the Uber Eats and different things like that, all the delivery food. That's the options you have in New York City, which is eating out or having food delivered. A lot of them do it on the bike. So right now we're entering the garment district. This is the garment district from back in the day. This is where they did all the clothes, man, all of them. Whatever clothes you can think of, this is that area. They call this area, I think it's the Avenue of Fashion. I believe it's this, if we getting on 7th Avenue, we're getting close to 7th Avenue, because I believe they merge into one. Broadway and 7th Avenue merge. And it's known as the Avenue of Fashion. Right now, it's still Broadway. Hey, Katrina, thanks for jumping on. Yeah, I love New York City too. Yeah, so it's still Broadway, but this is the garment district. You can see a lot of stuff is closed. When I first moved here, this particular area, Midtown Manhattan, used to be open like all night long. All night long. I had insomnia when I first moved to New York, so I couldn't sleep. So I would be up and I would just visit places. I got this book that talks about architecture and a lot of historic architectural places, buildings, a lot of famous buildings that were built. So I will visit those, you know. I will visit those at night, man.
I tell you, I got so
Oh, just tripped, almost fell. But again, you got a lot of tourists. And then you have these pop-up pizza shops. They do have what is known here in New York as the dollar slice. You go to a lot of spots and you can get a slice of pizza for $1. I don't believe that's like the Wolfgang Puck restaurant. I think that's another Wolfgang. So right now I'm walking toward 34th Street and Broadway, known as 34th Street and Hale Square. It has the flagship Macy's here. Yeah. And then most of the restaurants that stay open, like I say, will be fast food or be like a bar. You'll have that. Bars stay open, you know. But as you can see, a lot of places are closed because they just don't have that foot traffic that Times Square does. You know, you just don't have it. So can New York City still be considered the city that never sleeps? You know, Times Square is one of the most popular tourist destinations in New York City. And then it's open all night because you can just people watch. You got little fast food restaurants, street performers. But like here, we on 34th Street at Macy's. This is the flagship Macy's store, the world's largest department store, or the largest store. It's like it's like 7 or 8 floors. Yeah. Most of the stores are closed. Yeah, most of these stores are closed. I know Macy's is closed. Some, yeah, all the, I don't know about, yeah. I think Verizon closed and H&M. I think they all closed pretty early. And down the street here, we had Empire State Building. So I made a mistake. 6th Avenue and the 6th Avenue and Broadway, they cross. So this is Broadway and that's 6th Avenue. So they cross. So I'm gonna take Broadway down because it's a major hub. Broadway, the major street. We gonna see how many people hanging out. This is where when I first moved to New York, there were a lot of restaurants and club stuff on Broadway. So it used to be open. Like I said, I used to walk around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you can see it. Saw it from where were we at?
So like I say, I'm on 34th Street and I'm walking toward 14th Street. I'm on Broadway, 34th Street and Broadway. And I'm walking toward 14th Street and Union Square. There's activities to do. But as you can see, it's not a lot of people out here. As we get lower, going toward 14th Street, you can see it looks pretty dead. It looks pretty dead out here. And then also you have a lot of the young kids, high schools, doing their graduation trip to New York City. So you see a lot of that. A lot of young people. And that's from all over the world. They come here as a graduation trip, and I noticed them because they generally in groups of like 3s and 4s. You know.
I don't know, like that's how I see it. I never listened
A lot of places are shut down. Open back up tomorrow. So what we mainly looking at is people coming from somewhere, going home, or coming from home, going to somewhere. There's nothing open around here. As you can see, it looks like it's a lot of people when I'm walking behind them, but it's not a lot of people. Everything is like closed. Most of the time you see groups of people as food delivery guys. So can New York still be considered the city that never sleeps? And it's like 11:16 right now. Not even midnight. You're on 30th Street and Broadway.
That's cool.
So quiet compared to just coming from Times Square. If I turned around and walked back toward Times Square, went back to Times Square, it'd still be active, still be a lot of people hanging out because it's actually places to go inside. A lot of the restaurants you can sit down in and use the bathroom in. This used to be one of the strips right here that had a lot of activity, a lot of bars and restaurants, clubs. Like I said, you mainly just see people coming from or going to. Then it's a lot of homeless people as well. A lot of homeless people in New York, so. And all of them don't dress and look like they're homeless. That's something I learned, man. You know?
Yeah, that bar is really cool.
like, you know, I love someone.
And I'm pretty sure there are places where people are hanging out and doing stuff. That's a rooftop bar right there. People going in. I'm pretty sure there are spots people go to hang out at. I'm just not familiar with a lot of these places because I don't hang out like that. And then I'm not hanging out with a whole lot of bunch of people either. I'm generally alone. A couple people I hang out with, but I'm not really hanging out that much like that. So. Like I said, it used to be stuff to do all the time, places to go. I could just walk and stumble onto something. Like I remember I went to this jazz show one time. It was on Broadway, like around 30th Street. It just had a sign outside that said jazz upstairs. And I walked up there and saw a performance. It was pretty too. So I enjoyed it. Now you have, I'm not really that connected, so I really don't know what's happening. That's the Flatiron Building in the distance. You'll see it more clearly as we get closer to it. And that's 23rd Street and Broadway. And over here, as we get down to 23rd Street, Broadway intersects with 5th Avenue. 34th Street, Broadway intersects with 6th Avenue. As we get closer to 23rd, it intersects with 5th Avenue. So right now we're still on Broadway, and that's the Flatiron Building. And it got that name because it looked like the old school iron from back in the day. It was modeled after the iron. And this whole area is known as the Flatiron District. And I believe this was one of the areas, too, for Madison Square Garden. The stadium, the arena, it used to be right over there where that park is. Before, so I believe it moved like 3 or 4 times before it got to the location it's at now. Yeah, so that's the Flatiron Building here. And this is 5th Avenue. It might be a parade happening. I know July 4th is coming up, so it may be a parade because they got it blocked off. They usually do that, start blocking the streets off when they're having a parade. Because this area is usually not blocked off. So now we're coming up on 23rd Street and Broadway. And as you can see, ain't nothing happening. There's nothing happening. It's quiet. MR 257. Didn't know that. Now I do. Is there some significance to that date? 176th day? You got some significance for that? As you can see, it's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet over here, man. So we was at Times Square where it was like loud, people everywhere. A lot of things happening. We just had a lot of activity. As we got here, now we on 22nd Street and Broadway. There's not a lot of activity going on. A lot of the shops are closed. So right now we're headed toward 14th Street and Union Square. We just left 23rd Street and Broadway, the Flatiron Building. We started our walk at Times Square.
Oh, this one's like a micro one.
Yeah. As you can see, there's not a lot happening, man. We started in Times Square. Now we down here We was at like 50th Street and Broadway in Times Square. Now we're at 20th Street and Broadway, headed toward Union Square. And it's not a lot happening down here. Most of the restaurants and stuff are closed. So I don't really see any major activity going on. You do see people coming and going, but look like they're coming from somewhere and going to somewhere. But as you can see, a lot of these streets are like dead. No activity. Yeah. Maybe some activity at Union Square. This is the movie theater right here. Yeah, it looks like it's closing too. During the day, it's a lot of activity. It's very packed with people. At night, I guess there was some type of activity going on. It would be probably more people. But like I say, COVID changed a lot for New York City. A lot of the activity that was going on prior to COVID, a lot of that is no longer happening. Looked like a ghost town, man. This was one of the major hubs of activity, and then it's summertime too, man. It's not even midnight, it's 11:34. This was one of the hubs of activity. So I'm going to walk around Dubai, Mohi, yes, USA, New York City. Currently in Union Square. Yeah. McDonald's is still open. So I'm gonna walk around Union Square. Yeah, are you welcome, Dubai? You see, it's like nothing happening. Quiet. It's quiet out here. I'm walking toward 4th Avenue. Let's say Union Square East, but it turns into 4th Avenue once we get past Union Square or recross going south, on Union Square East. That turns into 4th Avenue going south, going toward Lower Manhattan. Yeah. So the park itself closed this. Let's see what time the park closed. It says 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. But they got it blocked off. I can go to Hunts Point in the Bronx, but not tonight. I have to do that on another trip. Yeah, so this is Union Square Park, and it stays open till 1 a.m. It opens at 6 a.m. and stays open till 1 a.m. And this is where you see a lot of the protests. When you see videos of New York and people protesting in New York City, a lot of times it's here at Union Square Park where they set up and do their protest. This is a very nice park. It gets crowded during the day. It's crowded with people. So it's hard to find a seat on a bench. Even though it says it closes at 1, they got the barricades up. Then you got a subway station. That's another thing I like, the 24-hour transportation here. Yeah, you'll have a lot of young people that be out here. Yeah, that's generally what you see. It's like young folks. Young people and homeless people. I say it like that. Not everybody is young and homeless, but a lot of times that's what you'll see. All right, that's gonna be it for me doing this live. I appreciate all the people that came on and subscribed to the channel and liked the content. So thanks. See y'all next time.